Right now, at this very moment, three separate scientific discoveries are converging in a way that could answer humanity's oldest question within the next decade. We're not talking about little green men or UFOs. We're talking about actual, verifiable evidence of life beyond Earth, and the timeline is shockingly close. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why scientists are more optimistic now than they've ever been in human history. What you're about to see will change how you look at the night sky forever. Here's the thing. For most of human history, we've been searching for alien life completely blind. We didn't know if other planets even existed. We had no idea if water was common in the universe. We couldn't analyze the atmospheres of distant worlds. But in just the last 5 years, all of that has changed. We've gone from hopeful speculation to having actual targets, specific places where life could exist right now. Think about it. We've discovered over 5,000 exoplanets, detected organic molecules in space, and found liquid water on multiple worlds in our own solar system. Now, the technology to find life has finally caught up with our ambition. And that's where things get really interesting. The James Webb Space Telescope launched in 2021 with one revolutionary capability. It can analyze the chemical composition of exoplanet atmospheres from 100 light-years away. Why does this matter? Because life leaves fingerprints. On Earth, our atmosphere contains oxygen, methane, and other gases that wouldn't exist together without living organisms constantly producing them. Now pay attention to this. Webb has already studied dozens of exoplanets, and it's specifically targeting worlds in the Goldilocks zone. Not too hot, not too cold, just right for liquid water. In September 2023, Webb detected potential signs of dimethyl sulfide in the atmosphere of K2-18b, a gas that on Earth is only produced by life, specifically ocean phytoplankton. Get this, we're not looking at grainy photos anymore. We're doing atmospheric chemistry on planets 120 light-years away. That's like analyzing someone's breath from across the ocean. But here's the catch. One detection isn't enough. Scientists need multiple observations to rule out non-biological sources. And that's exactly what's happening right now across multiple targets. Most people don't realize this, but Webb is building a database of potentially habitable worlds. Every month, the list grows. Think about it. We went from not knowing if planets existed around other stars in 1995 to chemically analyzing their atmospheres today. That's a 30-year revolution. And this is just the beginning. While everyone's looking at distant stars, some of the most promising places for life are orbiting Jupiter and Saturn right now. Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, has more liquid water beneath its ice shell than all of Earth's oceans combined. Enceladus, orbiting Saturn, is literally shooting plumes of ocean water into space. Here's what nobody talks about. These aren't dry, dead rocks. They're active, dynamic worlds with energy sources and liquid water, the two essential ingredients for life. The truth is, NASA's Europa Clipper mission, launching in 2024, will fly through those plumes and analyze them directly. We're talking about sampling an alien ocean without even landing. But here's where it gets crazy. In 2023, the JWST detected carbon dioxide on Europa's surface, and it came from the subsurface ocean. That means organic chemistry is happening down there right now. Now, imagine Earth's deep ocean thermal vents, where life thrives in complete darkness, feeding on chemical energy instead of sunlight. Scientists believe the same ecosystems could exist on Europa. The water is there, the energy is there, the chemistry is there. What does this mean? In the next 5-10 years, we'll have spacecraft specifically designed to detect biosignatures in these oceans. We're not speculating anymore. We're planning the actual missions. And if you think that's remarkable, wait until you hear what we found on Mars. The Perseverance rover isn't just taking pretty pictures. It's collecting rock samples that could contain fossilized microbial life from when Mars had rivers, lakes, and possibly oceans. Here's the thing. Mars wasn't always the frozen desert we see today. For its first billion years, it was warm, wet, and shockingly Earth-like. Scientists were shocked to discover that Perseverance's landing site, Jezero Crater, was once a river delta. one of the best environments on Earth for preserving ancient life. Get this. The rover has already identified organic molecules and minerals that only form in the presence of water. Some of these rocks are 3.5 billion years old, from the exact same era when life emerged on Earth. But wait, there's more. The samples Perseverance is collecting right now will be returned to Earth by 2033 in the Mars Sample Return mission. For the first time ever, we'll analyze Martian rocks with the full power of Earth's laboratories. Think about it. On Mars, our rovers can barely scratch the surface with limited instruments. On Earth, we can use electron microscopes, mass spectrometers, and technologies that don't even exist yet. Now pay attention to this. In 2022, Perseverance discovered sedimentary rocks in patterns that, on Earth, would be created by microbial mats, colonies of bacteria that trap sediment in distinctive layers. Is it proof? Not yet. But it's exactly the kind of evidence you'd expect to find if microbial life once existed on Mars. And this is the part that changes everything. For decades, scientists wondered if Earth was a cosmic fluke, the only place where the chemistry of life could emerge. That question has been answered, and the answer is shocking. We've detected amino acids, the building blocks of proteins, in meteorites, in comets, and floating in interstellar space. The ingredients of life aren't rare, they're literally everywhere. The truth is, space is an organic chemistry factory. Stars, nebulae, and even simple asteroids are cooking up complex molecules constantly. In 2020, scientists detected glycine, the simplest amino acid, in the atmosphere of Venus. Yes, Venus, the hellish 900-degree sulfuric acid rain planet. If organic molecules can survive there, they can survive almost anywhere. Here's what they didn't tell you. The discovery of phosphine gas in Venus's clouds in 2020 sparked a scientific firestorm. On Earth, phosphine is only produced by life or industrial processes. The detection is still controversial, but follow-up missions to Venus are now being planned specifically to investigate. That's how seriously scientists are taking this. But here's the catch. Finding building blocks isn't the same as finding life. It's like finding flour, eggs, and sugar. The ingredients are there, but someone has to bake the cake. Now, the question has shifted from, are the ingredients common, to how often does the recipe actually work? And the statistics are staggering. Let's do some math that'll blow your mind. There are roughly 200 billion stars in our galaxy. Conservative estimates suggest at least 20% have Earth-sized planets in the habitable zone. That's 40 billion potentially habitable worlds in our galaxy alone. Now multiply that by 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. Get this, even if the odds of life emerging on a habitable planet are 1 in a million, absurdly pessimistic, there would still be 40,000 life-bearing worlds in the Milky Way. Most people don't realize this, but we're not asking, is there alien life anymore? We're asking, how common is it, and how close is the nearest example? The Fermi paradox asks, if life is common, where is everybody? Why haven't we detected signals or visitors? But here's where it gets crazy. Maybe we're looking in the wrong places or listening for the wrong signals. Advanced civilizations might use communication methods we haven't even discovered yet. Or maybe, just maybe, we're among the first. Think about it. The universe is 13.8 billion years old, but heavy elements needed for life only became common in the last 5 billion years. We might actually be early to the party. Here's what nobody talks about. Every potentially habitable planet we've found is older than Earth. If life emerged on them at the same rate it did here, those civilizations could be billions of years more advanced. That's not just ahead of us. That's incomprehensibly beyond anything we can imagine. Which brings us to the real game changer. But here's what they didn't tell you in all those news articles about exoplanets and Mars rovers. The discovery of alien life, even microbial life, won't just be a scientific milestone. It'll fundamentally prove that life isn't a one-time miracle. It's a natural consequence of chemistry and physics. If life arose independently on 2 different worlds, it means the universe is absolutely teeming with it. The implications are staggering, and I'll break down exactly what that means for humanity later in this video. Now, Let's talk about the technologies coming online in the next decade that will take this search to a whole new level. Stay with me, because the next few minutes reveal the specific missions that could actually find the answer. The James Webb Space Telescope is impressive, but it's just the beginning. By the 2030s, we'll have telescopes specifically designed to image Earth-like planets directly. NASA's Habitable Worlds Observatory, planned for the 2030s, will use a massive star shade, a giant flower-shaped screen that blocks out starlight, to photograph exoplanets directly. Think about it. Not spectroscopy, not indirect measurements. Actual photographs of other Earths. The European Space Agency's Plato mission, launching in 2026, will monitor 1 million stars simultaneously, searching for Earth-sized planets with year-long orbits, the ones most likely to harbor life. Now pay attention to this. China's announced plans for a 6-meter space telescope by 2035 specifically focused on biosignature detection. India's planning exoplanet missions. This isn't just NASA anymore. It's a global effort. The truth is, we're building an arsenal of detection tools, each one more sensitive than the last. It's not a matter of if we find something, but when. And this is the part that changes everything. By 2040, we'll likely have confirmed biosignatures on multiple worlds and direct imaging of dozens of potentially inhabited planets. The next generation won't wonder if we're alone. They'll grow up knowing we're not. But detection is one thing. Understanding is another entirely. Here's the problem we haven't talked about yet. We're searching for life as we know it. Carbon-based, water-dependent, DNA-using organisms. But what if alien life is radically different? Scientists were shocked to discover that life on Earth uses only 20 amino acids, but over 500 amino acids exist naturally. Why did life choose these specific 20? The answer might be, it didn't have to. Alien life might use completely different building blocks. Get this. In 2010, NASA researchers discovered a bacteria in Mono Lake, California that incorporates arsenic into its DNA instead of phosphorus. Life on Earth, our own planet, is more diverse than we thought. If life can vary that much here, imagine what's possible on a world with different chemistry, different temperatures, different evolutionary pressures. Here's what nobody talks about. We might find life and not immediately recognize it. It could be so alien, so fundamentally different, that our instruments miss it entirely. That's why astrobiologists are developing new frameworks, ways to detect life based on disequilibrium chemistry, complexity, and information processing rather than just looking for DNA and proteins. Now, NASA's creating a ladder of life detection confidence, a systematic way to evaluate potential biosignatures, accounting for false positives and non-biological explanations. Because here's the catch. When we announce the discovery of alien life, we need to be absolutely certain. The consequences of being wrong are too significant. But wait, there's more. Some scientists are even preparing for the possibility of artificial signatures, techno-signatures from advanced civilizations, radio signals, atmospheric pollution, megastructures, even artificial lights on the night side of exoplanets. Think about it. Earth's atmosphere now contains fluorocarbons that don't exist naturally. An alien astronomer studying us would detect industrial pollution as a sign of civilization. We're starting to look for the same thing around other stars. Most people don't realize this, but the search for alien life has expanded from biology to technology. We're casting the widest possible net, which leads us to the biggest revelation of all. Here's the ultimate truth that connects everything we've discussed. We're not just on the verge of finding alien life. We're living in the first moment in human history where finding it is actually possible. Think about what's happening right now. At this exact moment in time, we have spacecraft analyzing ocean world plumes. We have rovers collecting samples from ancient Martian lakes. We have telescopes analyzing exoplanet atmospheres. We have AI systems sifting through petabytes of data, looking for patterns we'd never spot ourselves. Get this, every single piece of this puzzle, the technology, the targets, the methods, came together in just the last decade. Our grandparents could only wonder, our parents could only theorize. But our generation, we might actually know. And this is the part that changes everything. The first detection probably won't be dramatic. It won't be a landing, a message, or a mothership. It'll be a spectroscopy line that shouldn't be there. A chemical signature that defies non-biological explanation. A microscopic fossil in a Martian rock. But that quiet, mundane discovery will rewrite our entire understanding of our place in the cosmos. Here's what nobody talks about. The implications don't depend on whether we find bacteria or civilizations. Even single-celled organisms on Mars would prove that abiogenesis, the emergence of life from chemistry, isn't a miracle. It's reproducible. Now pay attention to this. If life emerged independently on two worlds in the same solar system, the statistical implications are staggering. It would mean life is virtually guaranteed wherever conditions allow it. The universe wouldn't just potentially harbor life, it would be absolutely saturated with it. Every star you see at night would likely have life somewhere in its system. Millions of worlds in our galaxy alone, trillions across the universe. The truth is, we're not searching for life to answer, "Are we alone?" anymore. We're searching to answer, "How common are we? And how long until we meet our neighbors?" And the clock is ticking faster than you think. So what happens when we actually find it? The discovery of alien life, any alien life, would be the most significant moment in human history. Period. Think about it. Every major human achievement, every war, every empire, every invention has been centered on one isolated world. The moment we confirm life elsewhere, that perspective shatters forever. Here's the thing. The philosophical implications are immediate. Every religion, every philosophy, every assumption about humanity's special place in the universe gets re-examined. But the practical implications are even more profound. If we find microbial life on Mars or Europa, the next question becomes, can we communicate with more complex life elsewhere? The SETI Institute would receive unprecedented funding. Every new exoplanet discovery would be scanned for technosignatures. The search for intelligent life would shift from fringe science to mainstream priority. Now, what if we find biosignatures on an exoplanet? We can't visit it. It's light years away, but we'd know it's there. Get this. NASA and ESA are already planning missions for the 2040s and beyond, specifically designed as follow-ups to confirmed biosignature detections. We're not just preparing to find life, we're preparing for what comes after. But here's the catch. Breakthrough Starshot, backed by Stephen Hawking before his death, is developing light-sail probes that could reach nearby stars in 20-30 years. If we detected life on Proxima Centauri b, just 4.2 light-years away, we could potentially send a probe there within a human lifetime. Most people don't realize this, but the technology to reach other stars isn't science fiction anymore. It's engineering problems with proposed solutions. What does this mean? The generation being born today might live to see not just the detection of alien life, but actual photographs taken in alien atmospheres. Think about that for a second. Children in elementary school right now could be the scientists analyzing samples from Europa's ocean or images from Proxima Centauri b. The truth is, we're not at the end of the search. We're at the beginning of a new chapter in human existence. And here's what nobody talks about. The discovery of alien life won't just change science. It'll change us, our priorities, our sense of unity as a species, our understanding of life's purpose and fragility. When we realize we're not alone, borders and conflicts might seem smaller, or they might intensify as we compete to make first contact. Either way, nothing will ever be the same. The biggest question isn't whether we'll find alien life, it's whether we're ready for what that discovery means. And based on everything we've discussed, that moment might come sooner than any of us expected. If you're the kind of person who wants to be among the first to know when we make this discovery, and trust me, it could happen any day, you need to subscribe. We're living through the most exciting era of space exploration in history, and I break down every major development right here. Next, I'm going deep on what happens to your body if you actually visited an alien ocean world like Europa, and the technology we'd need to survive there. It's more extreme than you think. That video is on screen now. The universe is waiting for us to find its secrets. Let's keep exploring together.